Welcome to Tough Talk. Join the conversation with Kiwi men as they tell their stories and talk about what they do for me time, what it takes to be tough on the inside, and how to be a good mate. Kia ora, Leo.
Kia ora, Sam.
Thanks for showing me around your property. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting in your tepee.
Mm.
And I've heard that it has some significance to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to start there?
Yeah. This tepee was given to me by my father. He had it made around the time when it was born. And it sort of transferred hands the night of my wedding. Now we have it permanently set up on the property. I stay open-minded to different ways of providing shelter for people.
Cool. So you're into providing shelter. What else are you into, Leo? Tell me a little bit about what you enjoy doing, what you do.
Yeah, I really enjoy interacting with nature.
Yeah.
I enjoy sharing the natural environment with people that maybe don't get the opportunity to as much. Taking them to waterfalls or rivers or beaches or mountains, into the bush, yeah.
I know you have a lot of people here sometimes and you do all sorts of community projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, like when it does get stressful, what do you do to unwind, to sort of get out of your head?
I think I talk to people. Yeah. I have really very close relationships. Yeah, different men and women in my life, and I think we're able to kind of offer a sounding board for each other, and yeah, I don't necessarily try and escape it. I sort of try and work my way through it, feeling it out too. Yeah.
I'm interested in that bit, the feeling it out bit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
Being honest with what I'm feeling, and not trying to hide that from other people, so that then they can be honest in turn, you know. And then that process is a beautiful process and can be quite healing.
Just sharing, and both honestly about yourself, but also hearing from other people too.
Yeah. I don't really spend a lot of time by myself, so it must be through people that I achieve this sense of peace. I don't find it too hard to be present with that person, and presence is something that people often will get through, meditation or exercise or something like that. But yeah, I'm really truly in the moment when I'm with someone else and engaging with them, you know.
So what's happening in that moment? Like how are you making that engagement happen? Like if you sort of had to look at yourself,
Yeah.
what do you think you're doing?
Oh, yeah, dancing.
Yeah.
It's just it's an exchange.
Yep.
And those interactions are what bring richness to life. And a lot of wealth can be generated through relationships, like real qualitative wealth.
Yeah, I think a lot of sort of well-being comes through connection, and I think it's important how you go about connecting. And it seems to me that what you do is really focus, and you're really there with someone. Like I feel it now. You know, you're really seeing me and hearing me.
Right on.
And that's really cool. It's interesting to hear that that's your way to unwind, because other people might find that quite stressful. But for you, it's you know.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I've been described as an extrovert. I surround myself with people that validate me or that support me, and I do so in return. And the way that we structure these exchanges are usually around, you know, food or drink or a shared experience that is constructive for the community. Because if it's just for you, then people are going to do what's just for them. But if you do what's for all of us, then everyone will get involved.
I love it. So you're not only building like well-being through connection, but you're also producing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you're building community.
Yeah.
You're doing so much more at the same time, which I think is really cool. I think Yeah, some people get put off the idea of just sitting down and focusing. So I can totally see where you're coming from. It's awesome. You seem really open and really talking about your experience.
Right.
Have you always been that way?
I think I've always been able to talk about feelings, but not necessarily in real time. It was always more of a reflection thing. I can look back and be like, oh, I felt this at that point. But I think in recent years I've just been able to kind of check in with myself and sort of see how I'm feeling now. And that's enabled me to really improve my relationships and be more authentic as someone who does have weaknesses and vulnerabilities, with sort of a proactive kind of self-care intention, and maybe try and channel it into something more positive and more constructive. Yeah.
So that's the change. It sounds like the change isn't that you're experiencing emotions, it's that at the time, in the moment, you're aware you're experiencing the emotions, able to process it, and then able to even act and do things that are beneficial for you. So even going beyond you, like thinking about New Zealand men, we don't always talk about what's going on for us, or even let it come up, especially if it's a more difficult emotion. What are your views about that? Like, why do you think that is in New Zealand as men, from your experience?
New Zealand has a really strong culture of the individual. You turn 18 and you go make a man of yourself, and it doesn't necessarily serve us, this kind of masculinity that's we've been conditioned into. And the way I see it is that the interactions that men have between each other are just lacking a little bit of the warmth that maybe other men in other cultures have, or men and women have, or women and women have. And in order to really sink below that, you really have to become either very close or very brave in a social situation. I think that kind of sledging culture that's here in New Zealand, where we're joking, but we're always taking the piss out of each other, isn't necessarily constructive. Those destructive patterns are fairly easy to get rid of if your mates aren't doing them.
Yeah, it's like a social thing. So you make something cool.
That's right. Yeah.
Talking or
that's right.
Whatever it is. Then people change.
They'll get into it.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And have you said bravery before? You have to be brave in a social situation. What were you meaning there in terms of bravery?
Bravery is a tough one. Words like bravery and courage, they're usually associated with kind of fighting or battle.
Yeah.
But I think when you're trying to change human behavior, it really takes balls, and to step out of the norm and model a new way of existing amongst your friends and your community. You really put yourself out there, and you're very vulnerable to people kind of cutting you down. So I believe that takes bravery.
So what is the brave man today?
I think the brave man today is the man who is sure enough with his own values that he's able to align his values with his behavior. And often that means calling out other people's behavior, which isn't easy, but I think that's a very brave thing if you can do that.
I agree. I think calling out others' behavior, but also kind of calling out our own,
That's right.
And actually listening to people. And actually, it's really hard sometimes to take on feedback.
Totally.
Can really hurt. I wonder if that's part of bravery as well.
Absolutely. I think we can all kind of beat ourselves up thinking that, I'm not perfect in this moment, but if you can apply that feedback loop, you'll constantly be able to improve yourself. And that's the thing, is reflection on your behaviour, and then how can I better that. But I've usually got someone there to point it out for me, you know. Often it's a woman, and you really got to appreciate that and receive that with gratitude, and yeah, even ask for help, you know. You're like, okay, how could I have done that better, you know? And I think a big part of that is identifying your mentors. I've got some incredible role models in my life, like people that I look up to from afar, and then people that are close, and I can have that dialogue. And man, I just learned so much from just really strong men and women in my life.
So Leo, one thing I noticed as you're showing me around your property is you just seem really, really connected to nature. I really felt that, and it seemed really important to who you are, and probably your well-being too.
Yeah, I suppose recently I've just kind of had this aha moment where maybe we start treating nature the way that we would treat our mother or our partner. And that if we start treating our mother or our partners the way that we should be treating nature, then we can kind of like bring that together, and I think be far more potent in creating a change and sort of regenerating our position here on this planet.
Yep. Thanks so much, Leo, for coming out and talking to me and giving me this time. It's been awesome.
Right on, bro. Shit. All right, see you later, man. Phillipe Menoita.
Please, check my eyes.
Kia ora. If you like what you see, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube or go to our website to sign up for email updates from me. Keep liking and sharing our videos to grow the movement. Peace.
As I wipe the slate clean, share